Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. A few moments ago, the emotional leader of the Chiefs defense, Eric Berry, making his way out of the tunnel. He and his mates will get set to do battle with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They're halfway home, looking good at a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best team in the NFL through the first half of the year.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And an alley to run. He's at the 40, 20, 10, touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jags have taken the early lead. And that right there is how you silence the home crowd.
All week long in preparation, visiting teams talk about it. Okay, we've got to start fast. We've got to take the crowd out of it, as you just talked about there. We've got to control the ball early. And in this case, forget fast start. This is a blazing start. What they've talked about all week is their offensive unit doing that. Not necessarily the guys returning the opening kickoff, but believe me, they'll take this.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the #1 overall selection back in 2005 out of the University of Utah. It's Alex Smith.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. And he'll maybe get it back to the 25 here on the first play, but no more than that. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
They have the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They'll fake it. Now Smith. And going deep for Hill. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for KC. 56 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10.
Stretch your team. Set one!
From the red zone now, Smith. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Calais Campbell in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains. No
oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
So the sack of Smith, and now the Chiefs coming up facing 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Smith. Incomplete. Both players were there offensively and defensively, but it falls incomplete.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, batted free. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. On 4th down, on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs, but you have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always said,
oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. On first down, it's Smith. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Smith off the bootleg. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one goes for 24 yards. Smith now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. Over the middle, complete. That's Fitzgerald. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. On second down, here's Smith. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Green 80. Green 80.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. To throw, it's Bortles. And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So that one will be accepted.
Automatic first down.
Ingram. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Here's Smith now on second down. And his pass incomplete. Demetrius Harris, the intended target. And now it's third down.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. From the gun, here's Smith. And he's got Fitzgerald. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34. Clay Matthews in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Out of the gun, Smith. He's got his man on the comebacker. That's Watkins. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Here's Smith. That is caught at the 7. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Larry Fitzgerald, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Chiefs are in for 6.
I I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Point after, right down the middle. And that will make this a 4-point game. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Now D.D. Westbrook to return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And now here comes Kansas City. Well, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them, because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
Eluding the pressure right. Even after more than a decade in the league, Smith still one to account for with his legs as he picks up a first.
Well, that's a nice job right there. He's looking downfield, but with no one open, he takes off and tries to run for it. He gets to the sidelines and gets out of bounds with a first down.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll try the air now with Smith. Escaping the pressure. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 27.
Green 80. Green 80.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Bortles. Left side complete. Safarian Jenkins. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Fournette fighting through. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That good for 22 and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. They keep it with Fournette on first down. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down.
Green 80.
Shotgun now for Bortles. Throw left side complete. It's Cole. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Another nice gain. 16 yards there and a first down again.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Set. Green 80. Green is on. Green is set.
On second down, here's Fournette. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. And an extra DB here for the Chiefs on 3rd down.
Pass situation. Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing the receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Time to spotlight the quarterback, Alex Smith. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessary. Smith and the Chiefs now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Now Smith. Flushed out right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The tight end Kelsey was the intended target, and now it's 2nd down.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good game. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a 1st down. Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helps. Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one goes for 24 yards. play fake here on first down. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Operating from the gun, Smith. Buying time to his left. Able to power. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
They'll come up now on a second and long after the hold.
Ready? Wide, 80!
From the gun, Smith. Eluding the pressure. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Clay Matthews in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
In all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Third and long, it's Smith. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves him well short for fourth down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game,
trying to fight his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Green 80! Green 80!
On first down, Bortles completes it to Lee. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. It wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
Whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front, and an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the two defensive tackles in a four-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually take care of business.
Green 80! Green 80!
Now Bortles throwing on second down. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Smith and the Chiefs now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
3rd and 2, Smith. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They go play action here on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
Miles Jack can just flat out cover. It doesn't matter who's out there, and he can do it really well in man. How about what he just did there in zone, though? Eyes in the right place. Saw where the ball was going, reacted appropriately, and knocked it away.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10, Smith again. Looking again for Watkins, and this time that's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7. Now it's Smith off the bootleg. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control a game by running it, have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
And as we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Green 80.
Now Leonard Fournette, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On 3rd down, Fournette. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, where you see the final score there. Joe Flacco, strong in the victory, as it pushes his guys back above the 500 mark on the year. From there, we'll stay in the AFC North and head over to Cleveland to check on the Browns. And they were winners in their ball game as they were able to handle the visiting New York Jets. 10-8, the final score. And then lastly, the nation gets a good one on Monday night between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. In the game you're watching, it's been the veteran Alex Smith with a strong first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Ingram again. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
4 down, check.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. He's given his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Off of play action. Here's Smith. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Clay Matthews in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit. And another first down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Now a first down throw. It's Smith. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. And one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and goal. A shotgun snap for Smith. Flushed out right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Tyreek Hill, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 8. That time, a 9-play drive. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. With it on the return now, here's Westbrook. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away. Shocker. Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And his throw here is incomplete. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. To throw, it's Bortles. He's got the hook up to Lee. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Fournette, a first down carry.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On second down, here's Bortles. Looking left sideline, incomplete. The Jaguars on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Green 80.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Marquise Lee, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars move back within a couple of the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
They made the decision to go for 2. They didn't get it. They remained down by 2 points. Should they have kicked it there?
Third quarter, I'm okay with it. Maybe first or second, you don't. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, again, I keep coming back to, I don't like to chase a lot of points.
Yeah.
But I also don't know what kicking an extra point being down 1 does for me.
And we shift our attention to Mark Ingram. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Another carry for the workhorse tonight, Ingram. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
From this vantage point, they've got the lead here, so for me, that'd be enough to go ahead and punt the football and let my defense defend the long field.
If you go for it, you don't get it, then you really put your defense in a tight spot.
Yeah, but we never know what people ultimately will decide to do here on 4th and inches.
Smith keeps it on the sneak, and he will push forward and pick up the 1st down. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
We often hear analysts talk about a quarterback's wingspan almost like a forward in basketball. But here's where it pays to have a long reach. They find a slight opening and are able to stick the ball forward to pick up 1st downs.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. On 2nd down, Ingram. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Back to throw, Smith. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. If you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Tiger. You got full set.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Smith. That's out to Hill, right side complete. Oh, and they had him stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me.
Defense.
So instead of forcing the field goal, it'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, the force was trying to make something happen that just didn't need to, right? I mean, the plays happen, let it go. It's over. Instead, he creates a penalty.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll fake it. Now Smith steps away, and he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. Alex Smith keeping it himself from 5 yards out, and the Chiefs add on to their lead. And maybe that was just a case of completely overlooking the guy holding the football.
It certainly felt like it, didn't it? Because on my checklist, okay, as a defender,
QB's last.
running back, fullback, heck, jet sweeps nowadays. Before you even get to thinking about the quarterback might actually keep it.
Butker on for the PAT. The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes this a 9-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Set. Green 80.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Caught, Safarian Jenkins, right side. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. His throw incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target. And it's 3rd and 5.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Green 80. Green 80.
From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. Oh, no, lost the football. But it looked like a Jaguar was able to cover this thing, and so Jacksonville will keep control. But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Set. Green 80. Set.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. And out will come the offense as they take over. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So he can't hang on. And as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know. But you're going to get hit anyways. Might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Flush to his right. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. The Chiefs on 3rd down. Now, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. A handoff. It's Mark Ingram. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively. And
one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Ingram again, a 1st down carry. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Smith. Going to throw again. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Yannick Ngakoue. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football, and that led to the sack.
It's Hill, complete. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Smith now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Clay Matthews in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. Dancing to his left. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a 1st down.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving. Out of the gun, Smith. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 30. And nothing but daylight ahead. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
Santos now to add the PAT. Santos with the extra point, and that will get him one closer. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. And remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Ingram. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Smith going to throw it. They'll roll him out right. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys that throw it.
They'll sneak it with Smith. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Alex Smith scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead.
Instead of having to play follow the leader there, the leader led.
I like that. And he likes that, doesn't he? First and goal, let me do the job.
Because you know when he falls into the end zone after falling behind those big guys that pushed up front, that's a pretty good celebration, isn't it?
Gives him a little street cred in the locker room, too, doesn't it?
Street cred, and then when they go out to dinner afterwards, he's still picking up the check.
They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And it might seal the deal as that makes it a 2-score game here with not a lot of time remaining. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Jags. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
380. 380.
Now Bortles dumps it off to Fournette. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Bortles to throw. He'll check this one off to Fournette. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a second down. Back to throw, Bortles. Safarian Jenkins has it. 23 yards on the play. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Now you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and then completions to use the clock.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all. And now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
To throw is Bortles. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Bortles. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Safarian Jenkins. And it's 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
You got 4. Let's go.
Throwing now, Smith. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Telvin Smith, able to get a hand on it there.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Smith now to throw. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Check. Green 80.
Bortles now on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Green 80.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Bortles. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a 1st down. And he'll spike it with 16 seconds remaining. And incomplete here. So that will leave him with 16 on the clock.
Here we go. Green 80. Green 80.
Bortles to throw once more. Now a desperation throw. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, 4 down.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And that's caught inside the 30. Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on.
Mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. A lot of scoring.